Hey y'all, Bay here, bringing you Captain Tsubasa Dream Team, and today, as you can see, I will go over Jito, Dreamfest Jito, and Hino, who got the hidden ability. So I think many of you who are going with Blue Japanese team are disappointed because Jito didn't get debuff block, which Blue Japan team is really lacking at the moment. I think there's only Urabe, I think, who has like 3% block. That is good, but you need more than 3, right? Because like red has like 10 and green has 100, but that only activates when you match up, plus sometimes like 20% of the time it doesn't activate, but still, you know, it's way better. So how I think is I think Clab is trying to differentiate each team by giving pros and cons at different parts, you know, so that they don't directly compete. That's how I think the aim is. But even when you know the aim, we still want what we want, right? So I think many people were disappointed to see that this guy didn't have the block, but I'll show you guys the Excel I made for Jito and Hino, but if you look at it, I think you'll understand that this Jito is strong. It's even stronger than before. So yeah, although he doesn't buff the team much, he himself is pretty good. So let's go on to the Excel. So here it is. So on the left is this time Dreamfest Jito, on the right is Hino. So let's go on from Jito on the left. So this guy, when he gets, first of all, where it says 11%, where normally I put the passive buff, he doesn't have the passive buff because he has buff to the skill power, not the stats, right? But the reason why I'm putting 11 is because this Jito gives 11% at max, 7% with JY Link, and what? Pedal to the Metal gives 3%. And another 1% to Japan JY. That's all the hidden ability buff he got this time. So if you do 11%, his tackle becomes almost like 13k, right? And even if you can't do JY Link, which is like for those who are going to be using this Jito in Blue Japanese team, it's going to be hard to fully utilize the JY Link, right? I'm pretty sure some people will get like some of the 7%, not all, but some. But even if you don't get any, you still get 4% from the Pedal to the Metal 3 and Japan JY 1, okay? So if you do the 4%, this Jito's tackle will still become 12.1k, which is not bad. Right, I'm talking about tackle, by the way, because this guy, although he's not bad at block, he's not that great. So I think at the end of the day, this guy is a tackler. His specialty is tackle. So I'm only talking about tackle this time, okay? And so yeah, so if he gets all the buff from the hidden ability, 11%, his tackle will become almost 13k, whereas if you don't get the JY Link, you still get 4%. Well, that's only when the full power is on, but still, you know, if you get the 4%, he still exceeds 12k, which is not bad, okay? So this time, the list I made on the bottom is where it says what? Passive 0%, passive 7%, passive 12%. That's when his passive. I separated 3 versions because this guy's passive is really hard to use. The less your stamina, your boost to the skill power goes up, and maximum 15, right? But I think realistically you can't do 15%. It's too hard. So I did 0%, which is when your stamina is full. 7% when your stamina is like maybe down by like 50% or maybe 60%, somewhere around there. And then 12% is like when you have really small amount of stamina, like it's gonna be your last tackle and stuff, okay? So, and also on the left where it says 4% and 11%, that's when on the top 4% is when he has the hidden ability buff of full power and also JPJY 1%, okay? without the JY link. And 11% is when he has all the hidden ability boost. So if you look at it, his tackle, this is all, I'm only talking about tackle, 475 tackle, okay? So when the passive is 0%, let's go on from the 4% one on the top. I think because many people will want to use this Jito in blue Japanese team. I'm sure, like I said, you'll be able to get more than 4 because you'll most likely be able to get be able to put at least 1 or 2 JY Japanese characters. So I think you'll get more than 4, but I'm just making sure that I'm covering everybody's situation. So this 4% at 0 boost for passive, his tackle at level 99 will be 57.6k, which is not bad already, right? Which is not bad already. But when his stamina goes down and if he gets 7% buff, his tackle will become 61.6k. This is already pretty good. For a defensive skill, if you exceed 60k, I think it's good because opponents dribble and pass aren't as good as shots, right? The reason why block is not working right now is because shots are at 500 class, whereas block is 440, 450 most of the times, unless you're Gentile, right? So that's why it's not balanced. That's the problem I think block is facing. So, but when it comes to tackle, you are looking at the opponent's dribble most of the times. Of course, if the tackle is high, you might even win against pass, but most of the time, tackle against dribble, right? And there's not many dribbler whose dribbling skill is really high, right? It's probably the best dribble in the game right now is Diaz, 490, and then comes Natureza, 475. But other than those, most of them are 450 or less, and some are even on the 300s. Heel lift is 375. So if you think about that, exceeding 60k is already good enough because it's tackle, right? But when your stamina is really low, and if you can get 12%, it's gonna be 65k. This is when you have 0 JY link, okay? 4% only from the hidden ability, but you already get 65k. So this is really strong. This tackle will probably get any dribble, I think. Yeah. So that's how strong this guy is. And if you can get the JY link fully and you get hidden ability 11% buff, you can see the bottom row where it says 61.5k from the start, okay, without any passive boost. He already has 61k. And like I said previously, for tackle, if you can exceed 60k, it's strong. Yeah, it's strong. And if you can get 7%, it's gonna be 65.8, which is really OP. And if you can get 12, it's almost gonna reach 70k. 70k almost for tackle. This is for sure strong. So, but like I said, it's hard at the moment for many people to create a team with JY link, full JY link. So for most people, I think you should look at the 4%, and that's only when the full bar is on. But even if the full bar is not on, I think many people will be able to include few JY characters. So this Jito will get somewhere around 4%, I think, for many people. So I think by looking at the 4%, you can get the image of how strong this guy is. And of course, this guy's passive is hard to use. So at the beginning, he might not be as strong, but as your stamina goes down, he will be strong. So I would say this guy is good. It's good. I think many people were expecting something better. It wasn't like that, but it's still good. And now the problem is there's so many good defenders in blue Japanese team. So who are you gonna get rid of? Or yeah, that's the problem, I think. So since this Jito does not buff the team that much, if you already have Kishida, Igawa, I would not get rid of them, because they themselves are really strong and annoying from an opponent perspective, because I don't use blue Japanese. I hate the blue Japanese team when they have both Kishida and Igawa. I hate it. It's just too hard. And when they do like, defensive formation, it's just too hard. So I hate it. So I would recommend you to keep them. And for the third slot, if you're using like Oiran, you're not going to be able to get rid of that either, because that does too good to the team, right? So if it's Ishizaki, maybe I'm not sure which is better. Ishizaki does 1% to Japanese and 3% to Tsubasa, so that's important. But today Ishizaki himself is not that great. So if I see Ishizaki in a blue Japanese team, I would aim for that Ishizaki, especially when you have like Igawa and Kishida for the rest. So but when that becomes this Jito, it might be a different story. Yeah, I'll be able to shoot over this guy, but if I match up like a little far from the goal, it's not good for me to shoot, right? So when that happens, well, this Jito, the problem with this Jito is his interception. His interception is bad. Yeah, that's one problem. So yeah, that's Jito. And next up is Hino on the right. So this Hino is more simple. He got like 5 hidden abilities like Jito. One is he does 1% up to Latin American, so that's good. And he has 1% debuff to Japanese, and he also has stamina killer 10%, recover 80%. So those are all good, but it's not like OP hidden ability to be honest. But as you can see on the Excel, he also got like additional percent for his passive. He used to be Japanese killer 10%, but now he's 12. And the reason why I'm putting 13 is because I wanted to add the 1% from the hidden ability. Latin America 1%, because if you're using this Hino, you get this 1% automatically. So at the end, if you look at the very right cell, his shot will be 14k against Japanese. 14k. Okay, so as a result, look on the bottom where it says in Japanese, the top one is Tornado, the ground shot, 475. The bottom one is Jumping Tornado, 460. But this guy has good for high ball. So as a result, his Jumping Tornado is better, whether your opponent is non-Japanese or Japanese. Okay, on the right is when you're facing Japanese. On the left is when you're facing non-Japanese. Okay, so it's gonna be, this Hino might be really good, because if you can give the Dream Collection Jumping Tornado S to this best Hino and make it level 99, 460. Okay. This guy is good for high ball, right? And as a result, even against non-Japanese, his shot will be 65k, right? And against Japanese, his shot will be 72k, right? So let's think about all the top tier goalies that many people are using. Okay, Fes Wakashimazu, I think this Hino has no problem to beat, because he's green already, he kills Japanese, his shot is strong, and Wakashimazu doesn't get the buff against Hino, okay? And Fes Wakabayashi, the type is the same, green versus green, so it might be hard, but he kills Japanese. So if it's Jumping Tornado, maybe he can beat Wakabayashi, although Wakabayashi also gets the passive boost. Yeah, that could be the case. And Mueller, Fess Mueller, but that guy's blue, so this guy's green, so he has advantage for type.